Welcome to Shom Achshav on the Daf. We're holding in Zevachim Daf Tzadik Dalet. The Gemara in Beis brings Dorash Rava Mutar lechabes menil b'Shabbos. You're allowed to wash a shoe on Shabbos. So Papa asked Rava a question, and then Hada Uki Rava Amoyra Alei. So Rava put in a moira in front of him. V'Dorash Dvorim Shamarti Lifnechem Tos and Biyodi. I made a mistake. From Kachom Rushich Shechmutar Kibus. So you're allowed to dub it into water, but not wash it into water. This is one of several places where Rava says a halachah, and then he comes and says, I made a mistake, and I want to come and switch the psak that I said. How do we understand this mistake, so to speak, of Rava, and the fact that Rava said one thing and then he says something else? So the Sefer Yosef Das here sends us to a Gavaldik Amokar, the Meir Shiloach, the Ishbitza, the way he explains to us the psak halachas of Rava throughout Shas, and it was also quoted by his son, the Bis Yaakov, and his Talmid, Rotzodek HaKoyen, the Pri Tzadik. The Yisod starts with the idea, the Meir Shilach says there is something called Din Emes, and there's something called Din Emes La'amito. What's the difference between Din Emes and Din Emes La'amito? So he says, Din Emes means a person learns a sugya, and he's coming to a conclusion. He knows what Halachah is. Emes La'amito means it's not only the logical understanding of what it is, but it's also the Din Emes La'amito means that he has that Ruach Hakodesh that Baruch Hu gives him, that he's able to understand and know what the psak is, not only based on logic, but based on the chush, based on the feeling. And he says it's a special siyata d'shmaya. Because sometimes, if a person comes and he's koifer hakoil, we have a din in Hichos Nezikin, someone who's koifer hakoil, he's pater. But it doesn't mean it's the truth that he's really pater. For that you need to have some other sense to figure it out. He says that's the reason you're not allowed to go to a course, you're not allowed to go to a goyish judge. Because even though maybe logically he can be very smart and very understanding, but he's missing that Ruach HaKodesh to tell him something which is beyond what we see in front of us. And with this, the Meir Shilach explains the Likutei Hashas on Maseches Yoma, where the Gemara tells us over there, Lo hasi tzuvim merabbanim. Whenever tzuvim merabbanim, the moirek gives a harah, Elohim Levi Elohim Yisachar. Psak halacha, you rely on Levi and Yisachar. He says, Vayika Yehuda, Shnema Yehuda mechokeki. Says Suki Shmaitza Liba de Yichasa Kamina. Meaning Suki Shmaitza Yichasa, that's only Levi and Yisachar, not Yehuda. Says the Yibitza, what does it mean? You want to tell me the people from Yehuda, they don't know paskin halacha? How's that possible to say such a thing? So he explains, no, this is the Maila of Yehuda. Levi and Yisachar, they paskin Liba de Yichasa based on their understanding, based on the learning, that's their Maila. But Yehuda has another Maila, as it says about Melech HaMashiach, that he will be Moirach V'doin, he's going to smell and be able to paskin based on smell. And he brings the Gemara in the Dorim, the Rava, who came from Shevet Yehuda. There was a story called Kanya de Rava, when Rava felt that he was denying something that he owes, and he did a shvur, he gave the kani, he gave his stick to somebody else, and Rava felt that something was wrong over here. The stick broke, and in the stick there was all the money. So the guy was koifer hakol, you trust him. But the reason he was koifer because he said, I gave back the money by putting hiding the money in the stick. Rava had the feeling that something is wrong. This Nekuda is brought down the Pri Tzadik in Parshas Re'eh Oizvov, and then the Bis Yaakov in Parshas Bechukoisai Oizayin. And Bis Yaakov adds, that's what the Medrash says, that Kol Tersh Odom Loin Boilam Hazeh Hevel Hu Neged Tersh Boilam Habo. Because in Tersh Habo will have the clarity. In Olam Hazeh we have different simonim, and through that you want to get to something which is not really tangible. So the Yosef Das wants to say that based on that we can explain what's this idea that Rava made these mistakes. Because Rava many times his halacha, his psak, is not based on the simple understanding of the Gemara. There's something else involved over here. So sometimes that brought to a mistake as well, because he was trying to figure out if things are in front of me, but if things are not in front of me as well, and that may lead to sometimes that this mistake came about as well. But then he had this special siyata d'shmaya, as some of the Achronim point out over here, the Klei Goyla points out over here, the Rashi says, right away Rava was able to correct himself, because he has the special siyata d'shmaya to come and do psak that you don't see in front of you, and correct the mistakes that he does when he doesn't go and he does a mistake in the halachah. This daf is learned in Chanukah. Chanukah is the time of Tersha B'al Peh. As the Ramban tells us, what is the definition of the Tersha B'al Peh, the revelation that we had in Chanukah? Yoidim es ha'emes beruach hakodesh b'kirbam. The Chachamim know the emes not just because of logic, not because of understanding. That's what the Yevonim came to say. It's something that's not logical, that's not tangible, so it's not true. But the Chacham Yodim Mehem is Ruach Hakodesh Shebekibum. They have much more. That's the Chiddush of Chanukah. And that's what we see over here, the way Rava is operating in Halachah. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor the Shom Machshava Shiurim, please email shommachshava@gmail.com.